Bangalore.
Lots of people say when you come to Bangalore, we don't know what to see except for malls and
That's
shops.
correct.
That's why they prefer going to Mysore.
Mysore, of course, has a rich tradition that which is preserved. And there are more historical sites, and Mysore has a palace and art centers and things like that. Dasara is celebrated. And Bangalore, for good or bad, let's say for the good, because of immigration, that is how Bangalore has grown. That is also its strength.
Yes.
So probably we need to respect and also reflect that eclecticism and cosmopolitanism. That itself needs to be carried on as a treasure, as a heritage.
That's good. Dr. Ravindra, you reportedly said that widening of roads should be resorted to only if there is no other alternative. Then what are the alternatives? Traffic on our narrow roads is unbearable.
Yeah, there are two aspects to this road widening issue. One is that, in a city like Bangalore now, which has been built up, in a lot. So widening would mean acquisition of properties. Besides, it means two things. Number one, so the people there get affected. There is usually a protest. They don't like to leave their places. So to the extent possible, I think in cities, it's not an easy thing to shift out. Only when you are affected, you will experience that problem. Rehabilitation now is a part of land acquisition. As you know, land acquisition has become an explosive subject, and even the government of India is thinking of a new act. A lot of reforms are coming in. So to the extent possible, we should minimize the, I would say, the pain of people shifting out. Secondly, government also has to pay very heavily because of the land prices. See, for the metro, there also when the minimum land was acquired, but wherever it is acquired, the market price was paid, and which is very high. So that is one aspect. Secondly, I would say, we should, when I said look at the other alternatives, is that number one, even if we improve the road itself, really make it very good standard, they're smooth flowing with proper footpaths, drainage. See, if the traffic is fast moving, then automatically, why do you want to widen the road? To improve traffic flow. Otherwise, it gets choked and all that. See, even in Western countries, you'll find in places London and Paris, apart from the main roads may look broad, but there are a lot of narrow roads. But you don't find
even
congestion there.
Even New York.
Even New York.
Yes.
Many of these older cities, they do have. So it is possible by better traffic management methods, for instance, improving the junctions. So you minimize, you may acquire a little, you widen at that spot. So these are the alternative things that can be thought of.
So now the TDR thing has been dropped?
No. TDR also is used, and some people are coming forward to accept TDR also. So TDR is again one of the things. So voluntarily, if they give up, naturally it can be done. And we have suggested, you need to identify roads. See, some roads need to be widened because they are so narrow, and you just can't help it. And some roads which perhaps I said where it is possible to have some alternative thing, by minimum improvements. Minimize. I would say minimize.
What about road over road? I say in many countries.
Yeah, we also have brought in, for instance, electronic city, that we call it elevated road, it is road over road. And similarly now along the airport road, Devanhalli, the National Highway is building, there is also a kind of road over road. This idea is catching up, but then, this again means a lot of money, expenditure. See, we should remember one thing when we speak about urban infrastructure. Urban infrastructure, the financing part, the cost is so heavy. See, recently there was a report, the Government of India had set up Indian Urban Infrastructure Committee, headed by Ishar Aluwalia. Now, they have come out with the report. See, according to their estimate, it is some 140 lakh crores. See, that is the sort of the size of the investment required, which is not easy. That is why even the central government came out with the JNURM scheme. They are trying to give some assistance. So compared to the needs, and the requirement of investment, there is a gap. See, that gap between demand and supply It is not only physical, it is financial. So it's and in all Indian cities face that. I mean, it's not merely Bangalore. And Bangalore, because of its rapid growth, you are feeling more and more, and people are becoming more prosperous. The demand is higher. So I agree. I mean, it has to be faster. This we need to speed up the pace of infrastructure development.
Sorry. Dr. Ravindra, whatever happened to the bus rapid transport system?
Yeah, BRTS, BRTS, like a bus
BRTS.
rapid transit system.
Transit system, sorry.
Yeah.
Transit system.
Yeah, transit system. It's again not a very easy thing in old cities which are already grown up, unless you have wide roads. See, even in a city like Delhi, which really has wide roads, as you know, they started it there and it ended in a fiasco.
Yes.
But maybe now they're again trying to do that. You need one dedicated lane for the bus. So now if you take any road in Bangalore, if you dedicate one full lane, that much of width will go for the bus only. And it's really difficult to accommodate the other traffic. But at the same time, there is a merit in saying that if you want to give priority to public transport, you introduce that. So we have selected, in principle it has been approved, and one road from Central Silk Board onwards, towards that
Slightly wider road.
wider road.
Is the ring road, you mean?
It is, it is a ring road. It is an old ring. Now it looks so congested. That has been identified, and they want to take it up on a trial basis. It is still not started. But I think where it may succeed is we have also taken up one such BRT road in Hubli-Dharwad, connecting Hubli-Dharwad, that road. So that has been sanctioned, and I think preparations are already on to do that. Yeah, so that is the real
So
problem.
dedicated lane for
Buses.
movement of buses.
Buses. The one example of a good BRT is in Ahmedabad. They have really built it and it has started.
Oh.
So, but there that is in the middle of the road, because they have identified one particular route.
It is in the middle of the road.
It is in the middle of the road. So you will find like platforms, at stations, bus stations, you get down there, and then, and of course, you have to cross. They have made some arrangements and all that. That has worked well. We can try here, but it's again building that will result in a lot of chaos for some time. That is extremely.
So people should be prepared for chaos.
This is where, as I said, see, people also need to cooperate. If you take one lane, as it is Central Silk Board, there is a big agitation about road widening, TDR and all that.
Yes.
So that's why we said, okay, you go slow, but then let's try out this BRT. Then people must be prepared to travel by bus rather than by car,
Using
at
their
least
own
along
vehicles.
that route.